Well, hello. Welcome back to the grind, and something different in here today. So this is my daily driver, 2017 Volkswagen Tiguan R version. So it's a nice little car. It's got the 2.5 liter turbo in there. Now it needed a few things before winter. Brake pads on the front, I just changed them. Really should have changed the rotors too, but the guy at the inspection place didn't say it needed rotors. He just said it needed pads. And then also I got some of this wool wax undercoating just for touch up underneath where it was the undercoating had been worn off over the years. I've had it in to get rust treatments often. So I figured this time I'd just take a look and see what it needed. Then, at the back of the car, there was a bunch of rust marks from dragging a trailer around. It would be bouncing back rocks, and then there were rust bubbling through in about 30 places. So I figured I'd just get on that before it got real bad and see what I could do about fixing it. Now, it looks pretty good now. But you can see the color's not an exact match. It's pretty close. I'll have to set it in the sun for a while. And the bodywork, as usual, is not perfect, but not bad. So I'll be happy with it. It looks okay from this distance, and I'm pretty sure you'd have to look pretty close to notice anything different about it. So that would be everything done, and we're happy with that. So stick around, you'll see everything I did. A little bit long, but I wanted to get it all in one video. So that's this thing ready for winter. Okay, hope you enjoy it all. See you later, and like and subscribe. Bye bye for now. Well, here recording now. Here I am back, and not going to do anything on this time around. I've got some other chores to look after. First thing I did was, I had the rototiller on back of the tractor, so I got that off of there. It's running, and I hopped into the Porsche, and don't you know, it just started right up. Like it's been sitting for I don't know how long now, maybe 3 weeks. Starts right up and runs. That's nice. I'm going to take it out for a little spin. Maybe I'll show you a different beach, okay? And I'll see you later. Now I'm going to no, I won't see you later. I got all sorts of junk in here. I'm going to clean up some of this stuff so I can make some room. Take that out. I'll take the, like that piece of steel's been sitting there for a couple of years. I'll take it and cut it up with the, what do you call that? The plasma cutter, so that I can stack it nicely, and clean up some of this bench area. And like that's a radiator that I bet would do for the Hillman. Well, I got a radiator for the Hillman anyhow, but that would do for something. Anyhow, later. So here, all sorts of stuff to clean up. Move this bike around a bit somewhere. And I'm going to bring the Hillman out of there, and then I'm going to park it in here and take the Tiguan and put it in there and do some work on it that it just needs for before winter happens. But I got lots of room up there to store stuff, so I'll get the tractor and lift stuff up there and get it out of my way here. Cardboard here should have gone on the cardboard delivery day. This old wood from the bottom of that old boat thing, maybe it'll stow it in the back of that Mercedes there with everything else. This thing here is just sitting there in the way. I'll get that out of the way. That's my chainsaw sharpener. Oh, there's all sorts of stuff just hanging around in here. This weather stripping out of the Volkswagen van, I think. Don't know why I'm keeping it, but good to be a hoarder. That's a hydraulic pump that Doug brought over. I might be able to use that for doing stuff with the tractor. Anyway, lots of things to do, but anyhow, I'll get started on it. Okay, so here now. Went to have a spin in this thing, and we're down at Rice Point, which is another nice little spot down here. And yeah, another Linda's with me. She's hiding from the camera. Another nice beach. But you don't always have to get the Holland Cove beach. You can have this beach here for a bit. This one's got a bit of a cliff around it all the way. New development going in over there. And then that's Nova Scotia. Or that way is New Brunswick. That's all Nova Scotia. And then way off in the distance there is PEI, Wood Islands, or Point Prim or something. Or St. Peter's Island, that is. You can't see past it. Anyway, there you go. Here's a different beach. See you later. Yeah, just running like a top, that car. And it looks good. You can hear the fuel pump a little bit, not bad. Not like it used to be howling away there. So, that was the run to the beach. See you later. Yeah, slowly but surely making some room. Moved the Triumph over there. It'll be fine there. And move the little Honda back in here. Haven't quite got it all the way in yet, but I'm going to back it in there a bit better. And that'll be good for that spot. Then I have room here. I'll have room here. I'm going to take that and put it up in the top. And mostly the shelf is cleaned off. And just put my ladders in a few places that are good. And then I'll have room to bring the little yellow car in here, the Hillman. There'll be lots of room in there for a couple of cars now. I might even put the BMW in for the winter and then just use that shed over there for the boat, because this one here has got there's a hole in my bucket, right? Oh my, look what happened to that. The wind blew it away. I'll have to get a new cover for that. Anyway, that's sometime soon or later. But it looks like I'll have room for Porsche, BMW, Porsche, BMW, whatever, and a go-kart or golf cart. So that'll be good for the winter. Now, in the meantime, here I am over here with the plasma cutter, cutting apart this. There's this thing here. I don't know what it was. It was something came on it. Anyhow, it was a maybe the what do you call it, the thing for cutting logs. Maybe it came on it, but I'll be plasma cutting here. I'll just turn it on and show you. This cutter actually I didn't think it was as good as it is, but it is. Does a pretty good job of cutting right here. This is like, that's not 1/4 inch, but it's bigger than 1/8. Yeah, that'll cut. Cuts through pretty good. Couldn't get through all the both pieces there, so that won't go through a 1/2 inch, but it'll easily go through a 1/4 inch. I think I've got it turned up all the way there. Yeah, maybe a bit more air and make it go a bit deeper, but I'll just finish cutting this up and I'll show you. Yeah, it's getting dark out. Buster figures it's time to go in. Can't really tell from the camera because and there's the kitty cat over there that figures it's time to go in. So the little yellow car is 1.5 meters wide, so it should fit in here. I'll just measure this and see. See how wide we are here.
what's that, 3 meters? Or, no.
Right here. 2.2 meters. So 1.5 got a spare half a meter in each, or half, 1.5 to 2.2. So we've got 25 centimeters in each side. So I'll be careful getting it in here. Anyhow, but that's okay. It'll fit. And then later on, I just check and see if I can move the Triumph over a little bit if I have to. And in fact, I can move the Porsche over a bit if I have to. But I'm pretty sure that the Beamer will fit in there later too. Maybe I should put that in this into here for the winter. I'll just think about things like that. Bumper to bumper. .6, just a bit wider than Hillman. So that'll be all right. I'll get that moved over tomorrow, and then get my Tiguan down and do some work on it. Anyway, that's all for this today. Got all that steel cut up into pieces. Oh, I'll show you how far. When should you stop doing the cutting with this thing, right? When it blows through the side of the thing here. So that one there is reasonably wore out. And then it started arcing down here, you can tell. So I cleaned that out, put a new one in. Anyway, it seems to work pretty good. We'll just see if I haven't ruined anything next time I try cutting. Okay, see you later. Things back on all 4 wheels. I'll see if I can roll it out of here without anything too terrible happening. See what happens here. I'll kind of turn the camera that way. Yeah, that looks all right. How is that? See what happens. Yeah, so it's been a while since it's been this empty in here. Anyway, I'll move around a couple more things, then I'll bring in the Tiguan. I moved the little car, the Hillman. It's over there. I took the power hose to it, cleaned it all off or rinsed it down, and then I came along with a, what do you call that thing? Just a cloth, and wiped it off so it wouldn't get flash rusting on it. And it seems to be fairly happy in here. It fits, so that's good. I'll have to put some. I'll have to get my car, the BMW, registered, because now that I've got the Porsche stuck away behind everything, I can't get it out to drive. So I'll have to drive the BMW. And the plate just expired the other day, so I'll put a new plate on, get another plate for it. And then that'll be good for getting around whilst I bring the Tiguan in here. But you never know, I might only have the Tiguan in here for a day and be able to drive it. See what happens. Yeah, so I haven't had this in here before. Oh, what am I tripping over now? My chair. So, now what do I need? It needs front brake shoes. That was what the inspection guy said when I had it inspected. And then I've got on the back of the car, I don't know, can you see this? Like see that little bubble there? There's a little bubble there, a little bubble there. This is all from damage from towing trailers, right? Where the rocks get thrown back and creates a chip. So I'm going to clean them all off of there and make sure that there's no rust underneath it. And then I've got the proper paint for the car, and it's only going to be just that. Like, I don't know why it never got anything out here. Maybe that's plastic. Who knows? Who knows what's in the modern cars? But this is definitely metal because it's rusting. So I'll fix up. There's got to be 20 little spots, maybe 10 or 20 little spots to fix up on that. And then I've got some wintertime undercoating stuff, whatever they call this stuff. It's called wool wax, and it comes with a little thing like that. So that kit there is like $120 or something. The paint kit, which is a paint color plus primer, paint color, and clear is $75, like a spray can each. And I'll take a look at the front here and see if anything needs that up here. That's all plastic, so it'll be fine. I think it's fine up here. There's also there's a dent in the door somewhere. I'll find it. Oh yeah, right here. Little tiny dent in the door. I don't know what I can do about that. I could put a bit of filler in there and then paint it over, but it might be just as well just to leave it alone. That doesn't get. That'll be fine. I don't see any chips along the roof line, so mostly it's all really, really good. So I'll get it up on the lift and have a look underneath and see. I've never had this on a lift in here. Did I tell you? I said that once, didn't I? I never have put it up on the lift in here. Just drive it. I usually take it into Volkswagen to get it serviced, and it's 2017 car, so I still take it in there for service, but the there's no warranty or anything on it, so it's safe enough for I can work on it. Okay, it's up there. Have a bit of an inspection. This thing here is broken. That one there is broken. I should just I've heard it whacking around. There's not much left on that, so I might just take that off there. That's some sort of something. Hey, wind deflector. Everything in here looks like it's, Volkswagen-ish. I think that the rotors, they're likely getting close to being done too. I should have maybe ordered rotors for it. But the guy didn't say rotors, he just said, whatever you call those things. Back here is okay. Can't really see the brakes, but they're there. He didn't say anything about that, so I won't even look. This stuff here needs to have that wool wax on it. See, it's all getting rusty back here from wintertime driving. Now, when I ordered these tires, I actually ordered all-season tires, but they didn't. Performance. Doesn't say anything about all-season on here. Outside. Oh, that's the way it's supposed to be for traveling. They don't look like all season to me. But it's four-wheel drive. I really don't go very far in the winter anyhow. That's quite the exhaust thing there. Everything underneath here looks like it's good. Like not much need for too much of the whatever you call that stuff, because it's been done lots of times. I figured I'd just touch up whatever it needs. And that's pretty good because all the sills and everything, can't really see up there, but there's no problem up there. This stuff here, there doesn't seem to be any problem along here. So I'm not going to worry, not going to fuss about it. That you can get into underneath the door there, so I'll just put them in the door. And it all looks like it's okay to me. That's the rear drive shaft. Yeah, it all looks pretty good. So I'll change the front brake pads, and then if I have to, I'll order up some rotors for it. So here now, I got to let it down some to a reasonable height. First thing I got to do is pull these things off. They're like they're little things for holding on. Just covers on top of the wheel bolts. Anyhow. Yeah, you get one of these little picky things like that, and that should pull those right out like that. And they're just covers for the nuts in there. Don't want to lose them. So I'll pull all these off, I'll get the wheel off, like then it's kind of normal getting the wheel off after that. And I'll have a look at the brake pads and see what we got to do. Next thing you do is, like, here's the wheel off, and when you're taking the wheel off, be careful because it just drops off out of there when the last bolt comes out. So these, see this little thing here, that there's a rubber or a plastic plug that goes into there. And you just pull that plug out. And then there's, I think there's some sort of a torque screw in there. I'll check it out and see what it is. I'll find out. Yeah, it turns out it's an Allen key, number 7 millimeters. And so you just should be able to turn them. We'll see what happens. Oh, they're pretty tight. Yeah, they turn. That one turns anyhow. See if the other one turns. Yeah, it turns. So I'll get them out of there. Then, before I loosen them, I think I have to take this spring, retaining spring off. I'll just see if I can get that off of there without further ado. Yeah, so you just sort of, like, this thing goes in here, right? And you just sort of pry it away from there, and then it's out, just like that. And it goes against here and here, kind of idea, like that way. Remember how it goes to get back in there, right? Okay, next, see if I can get those. I'll get those bolts out now. Those, that would be what this slides on. So this would be the caliper, that would be the holder back here. Don't have to take that part out, just take the caliper out, and it's good. Yeah, so those things there both come out of there. Now I'll see if I can spread this, get this caliper to go in a bit so it'll pull off of there, perhaps. We'll see. Yeah, so I just stuck a screwdriver right in here and just sort of pushed it gently a little bit, and that pushed some of the fluid back into the reservoir. Now, I should have checked the reservoir, taking the roof off it, let some air flow, so I'll maybe go up and do that, or I'll let the car down, I'll undo the reservoir business. Yeah, so I took out this, which is the cover for the brake fluid, which is right there. And then I put this rag over the top of it so that if it overflows, it's gonna just get caught in the rag, and that'll be fine. It may overflow, I don't know. It may or may not. We'll wait and see. Yeah, so now this will come off here, like that. And there's one brake pad. They still had some life in them, but not much. Now I should check and see if I have the right brake pads. I'll do that before I go any further, eh? And then this thing here, I should just turn the wheel and knock off all that chaff. There's the new one. And it looks suspiciously like the old one. So I guess we're okay there. I'll just, did you see that? New one's got quite a bit more wear on it than the old one does. But the old one, you know, they're not that bad. Who knows, hey? Anyway, we'll put the new ones on. Yeah, so the one that goes into the caliper has got this clippy thing on the back of it. Like that. And that's what happens with that. Then it needs some sort of like that has a backing plate on it there with a rider there. This one doesn't. I don't think there is anything in here. But it does have this grease, and it has new retaining springs. So anyway, we'll see. I'll carry on. I'll show you how I do. So now, where am I? Here's That's the caliper right there, right? So I need to squish that caliper back in to the into the brake, so that you can put the new pads on and they'll fit over the over the drum, or what do you call this thing? They'll fit over this anyhow. So I guess you got to put a bit of grease on there, 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 which I will do soon. Now, I've got a, you know, they call for special tool number 1,000,007, but this is my special tool right here. It works pretty good sometimes. We'll see if it works at all, right? So special tool number 5572 works okay, except when you want to get it back off of here. There. That's done. Now on this side, this is the passenger side, so it gets this thing here with the clippy things and nothing else. I'm going to put a little bit of anti-seize on each one of these things here, and I'll put some of that lube down on these things here. But first I'll get the anti-seize. Hang on. Just a bit of anti-seize. It just keeps them from binding and rusting and everything like that. I hope. That's my theory. Now it should go in here. They're a tight fit. Have I got it the right way? Yep, I got it the right way. There we go. That went in. That's that done. Now I'm going to hang this up here a bit, just like that, and then I'm going to clean off all that stuff here. I'll just crack it off with a hammer. Hang on. There, that's frees this up so I can go around and just knock that shit off of there. Yeah, I'll just leave well enough alone there and put it back together. Yeah, next time around I'll get new brake rotors, but they aren't like bouncing or anything like that, so they must be fairly close to be all right. Anyway, carry on. So now this I'll show you here what happened. Like right there. See, it took some of the finish off there. So I won't do any more of that pounding on this because I don't think I should. Anyway, we'll just carry on, see how it works out. Got another year before it needs inspection, so they'll liable to tell me about that when it happens. Yeah, back at it here now. So I'll unhook this, but first I'll get that grease out. I wonder where the grease is. And we'll put a little bit right here and right here, if I can. Yeah, that was noisy, wasn't it? Oh well. Likely to be fast forward for that anyhow. Now I'm cleaning up this thing here. Maybe I'll take the wire wheel to it. Hang on. Yeah, so I cleaned off both of these with the wire wheel. Now I'll put some of that grease on these. So these ones here, the sliders call for 23 foot-pounds. The bracket bolts, which are up here, and I haven't taken them off, they call for 73 foot-pounds. So I'll just get my foot-pounder thing and put it in there to 23. Okay, here we are, 23 it says. I've got this thing set to 23. Right there it is already. That's how tight they were by hand, really. So that's good. Now I'll put the little black covers back on there. One goes, I don't know, can you see that? In there. That one there goes right here. Done. Now I got to put this spring thing on, right? Got a new one then. Ooh, lucky day. Yeah, wheel moves. So I'll put some anti-seize on here. That keeps it, aluminum wheels on steel. And, you know, they just don't. There. Now I'll put the wheel back on, and I'll try to put the wheel back on. And this side is done. Now the other side, I'll do the other side also, but it has an electrical connection. So when I get to there, I'll show you where the electrical connection is for like a wear sensor in the pads. They didn't tell me I needed changing the pads. Like, they didn't talk to me. I won't show you how I fight to get the tire on because that's just going to be a fight. So it says in the book, and all-wheel drive cars have 88 foot-pounds on these things. Front-wheel drive cars have 120 foot-pounds on the wheel nuts. So I guess I'll do the 88 and that'll be fine. Okay, here, now, see that's the wire right here that you have to unhook. And I'll check it out, I'll figure out how to get that unhooked. And it should come off of there first, and see how it routes in between, like underneath the brake sort of thing, and then into there, and then up into that. So we'll get that off of there first, then we'll carry on to the next thing I have to do. And then that's the wheel sensor there to count revolutions. So it's got all sorts of stuff going on in there. Okay. Anyway, we'll carry on. That thing there is pretty near wore out. I wonder how come. That's odd. Odd that grommet would be gone. Oh well. I should spray a bunch of that lube stuff in here. On this stuff here. Mostly that's all pretty good. It's got lots of coatings of anti-rust on there. But I'll spray some up in there. Okay, I'll get this apart and then I'll show you how that wire comes apart. Yeah, so it comes apart pretty easy. It's clipped on there. There's a little hole right here that'll just fit a screwdriver, and you just turn the screwdriver a bit and that releases it and it pulls off easily. Just there's a clippy thing there, right in there. I don't know, you can't really see that, can you? But there is a, let me see, get some light here. See the clippy thing right in the middle there? And then this thing right there, you get a screwdriver into it. That end of it right there, where my finger is, and just twist the screwdriver a bit, and that pulls up on that, and there's a holder here that stops it. So, easy. But you could fight with it for days if you didn't know that, couldn't you? Yeah, so there, when you've got it back on, that's where you sort of route the wire to go right up like that, and that'll be in the right spot later. But the other one that came off of here, right, that might be a bit longer wire, I don't know. Check that out. Yeah, that is a bit longer wire. Pretty interesting. We'll see. See if it'll come. It'll fit whether it likes it or not. But this one here, it was right down to wearing on the wires right here, but the light never came on in the dash. There's the little sensor right in there. It had to go another 1/16 of an inch, not even like just a bit to get that sensor to go. So it's a good thing changing them. Anyway, that's that done, and then this will go back together the same way that the other side did, and we'll be happy about that. Yeah, their little plugs are in place, all back together the way it should be, and that wire is routed up through there to this spot here and clipped on, so should be okay. We hope. Well, we're gonna say it's okay. Anyway, next time around I'll have to do rotors, but that'll be a while to get before I do that. Yeah, so there now. Oh, look at that, mud wasps in there. Little bastards. Whoop, I shouldn't say that. Those terrible little things, right? So anyhow, I've had the wheel on. Then I discovered that I'd forgotten to put that little clippy thing in there. So I put the little clip, I took the wheel off, put the clippy thing on. And then when I was putting it back on, I see this M+S. So that's mud and snow. So it is a all-season radial tire, which is good. That's what I wanted to have. Anyhow, that's good enough for me. Okay. Now, torque these up to 88, right? Go the right way, Lauren. Click, 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 click. Okay, so I'll do the other side, and then you're supposed to drive it for a while. I won't put the little caps on there until later, and I'll put those little plastic caps on after I run it for 100 kilometers or something, and I'll retorque the wheels at that time. Okay. Yeah, now did I make a mess here? I don't know. Nope, but it's up pretty high. So then this little tab here, see that little tab on the side of that thing right there? That goes down into a little marker over here, right there where my thumb is. I don't know if you can see that. But you got to make sure when you put this back on that goes there. Don't know why it goes there, but that's where it goes. Anyhow, that's that done. I'll put the cover back on the battery. Maybe I'll test the battery here before I do anything else. See how close it is, because that battery's been there since 2017, and it's 2025 now, right? Might be time for a new battery one of these days. Wonder how. Made in Poland, so gotta be 5KO915105, 12 volt, 60 amp hour, 280 din, 480 amp. I think 480 is the cranking thing. So I'll just get my tester out and test it. Yeah, so here, I've got this tester here, and pretty simple. You hook up one side to here, hook up the other side to here, like that, and this will come alive, right? And battery, okay. I'll do a standard test, I guess, okay. Regular battery, that's what it is, eh? Okay. SAE. $500 amps, it says 480 here. Yeah, so all of the numbers are in there. You dummy. Got to start again. Okay, try this once more. Battery, okay. Okay. Regular battery, okay. SAE, Okay. Turn off engine. Yeah. It says 500. I wanted that to be 480. Okay. And it's testing. So it just goes and tests. 12.46 volts, rated at 480, measured 383. Resistance is 8.02. Life is 60.7%. State of charge is 82%. It says it's great. So, but maybe sometime in the spring I'd likely need a new one of these things. But it says it's okay, so we'll be okay with it. I'll put the battery cover back on. But this is like that's the 2 point something or a liter. I don't know how many it is. 2.5 liter motor. Anyhow, it's got a little turbo on it. Somewhere back in there, there's a turbo. I don't know if you can see it down there, but back in there somewhere, there's a turbo. And it's got lots and lots and lots of power. It's just amazing how much power this thing has. It goes like stink. It's the R version, which is sort of the faster version, like R line. And nice little car, and it's run trouble-free for, you know, oh no, not trouble-free, because all the lights lit up on the dash like a Christmas tree one time. And that was caused by one of the wheel bearings that was going, wheel bearing went out on it and triggered everything else. So got the wheel bearing fixed for, you know, $1,000 later, and that was it. But that was the only thing that's gone wrong with it. So I'm quite happy with it. I'll touch on wood that it'll be okay for a while. Wood there. Anyway, so good little car, and you know, they're a great daily driver. They just, you know, you hop in them, turn the key, and away they go. You don't even have to turn a key, you press a button, right? Okay. Anyway, now I'll lift it up again and I'll start doing some of that woolly wood stuff. Woolly word. But I'm just going to do it around the suspension parts where I can see obviously rust happening. The rest of it seems to be pretty good. A little scratch right there. Might have to buff that out. Don't know where that would come from. That dent on the other side's I remember I did that my own self. I dropped something and hit it with it. So I can't blame anybody but public enemy number one. Anyway, carry on. Yeah, that's enough for today. I'll come back tomorrow and get after the other. The next step is the undercoating stuff, and then the last step is cleaning up the paintwork. Likely what I'll do is I'll get the undercoating done, drop the lift down, move the car forward as far as it'll go. Maybe I'll even just turn it around and back it in and work on the back end up here. That'd be the right thing to do, eh? Okay, we'll figure that out. Okay, wheels are back on, right? This is the next day now, and I'll go ahead and spray this lube stuff onto the suspension parts down here that are taking a beating from the weather. And I think that's all that really needs it done is what's hanging around, because everything else is plastic here, right? And very, like, it's all good and well protected. I don't think there's any trouble at all with it. Don't see any sort of issues with the bottom of the door or this rocker panel stuff. Nothing going wrong with that, so it's good. So this stuff here, I don't know, you can, that's pretty well coated. This stuff in here needs a coating, and in there needs a coating, but otherwise it's all in pretty good shape. This, like, it's got the original stuff from the factory on here, right? That's just peeling off. Can you see any of this underneath here? Anyhow, that peeling off stuff there, but otherwise, but I'll get a can of that stuff out and see what I have to do. I think it's pretty simple for this car. Yeah, there. So you shake it up well for a minute and spray it on. Let me get some light here. I've sprayed on most of this thing already. Some over here I missed out, but you just spray it on liberally, that like, well, shouldn't get it too much on your brakes. Oh well, that'll wear off pretty quick. Anyway, the I've got it sprayed up here, and I got this stuff here all sprayed back here. Can you see any of that? Enough light for that? And then it's got this little thingamajigger came with it. Hang on, I'll show you. Can you see? Yeah. So it's got this little hose here. Plug that in. Then this becomes like it sprays inside cavities. So let's see if I can figure this out and show you one. Wait a minute, I gotta get the light set up. There's more setting up for doing this YouTube stuff than anything else, eh? Anyway, I'll show you. It actually works pretty good. I did, like back here, I did all these on the outside, but then how do you get on the inside? And so you take this little thing right here, and see if I can get this to happen here with one hand holding and one hand not. Oh dear. Okay, so that sticks into, well, just put it into this hole here, right? And then, whoop, see where it's stuck in that hole there? And it's got a, then you just spray it in, pull it out, put it in the next hole, like this hole up here. Up here. Whoop, won't stay. Whoop, you gotta hold, need two hands, eh? Oh well. Anyhow, it works pretty good once you get it in there. Oh well, I won't bore you too much with that, but it sprays on the inside of that stuff, and then I've got a bit overspray on the exhaust pipe, but that'll burn off, and I've got everything covered up pretty good up there. And one can seem to cover the underneath of this car all right. A little tiny bit left in it, so I'll just find a spot to spray it on, right? Make sure you don't spray yourself with it, because that's the last thing you need. Sort of got up into where the shock absorbers are, and oh yeah, the back plate of the brakes here. I wanted to get that. Can't see very well in there, but the backing plate for the brakes always rust on cars, right? So the can is under lots of pressure, so it seems to be okay. I think I'll put some around here, because that thing there has been, I think that's it. Pretty narrow, not a little bit left in it. Yeah, that's the can. Good. So one can will do, this is quite a bit. And then it says when they're empty, you can throw them out with your recycles or trash. So I guess we can do that. Huh. There, that's easy. Easier said than done. Now the next thing is to paint the back of it. We'll get to that. Yeah, so here now, these are all the little rust spots. Hey, you see that? You see it there, there. So I'm just taking this, I got 60 grit on here, and very gently, I'll show you how I do it. That's pointing it? Yeah. So I just take this and I gently grind it away. So now what I'll do like that's got all the rust is gone out of there. But what I'll do is I'll spray some rust converter on these spots. Well, there's another spot up there. I'll finish grinding them off, and everywhere you look, there's one right there. And these are all from rock chips, right? I had a trailer on back, and the rocks come back and hit this, and then let the water made it so water could get underneath the finished coat and make it so it rusts in there. So I'll get them all cleaned off, and then we'll see about what to do for the next step. Yeah, so I've got this stuff here, rust crud cutter, the must for rust. So I'm going to just spray every one of these little things. I've got about 30 of them exposed now. And you see there's a little bit of rust left, or discoloration in the center of the thing. So just spray a bit of this stuff on each one of them. And you can see it actually works. It's doing stuff right there right away. And I'm going to paint the, whoops, don't drop it onto the car down there. I'll clean it off down. Whoops, where am I pointing, I wonder? Paying attention to what I'm doing here, Lauren. God only knows what this stuff has in it, but it seems to do the trick, eh? Pretty soon we won't be able to have this anymore because it'll be some sort of chemical that's hazardous to the world. Excuse me. Maybe I'm allergic to it anyhow, right? You can see it working right away on the bare metal. So that's good. Have I missed everything? And it's bubbling up. Oh, a couple over here. Anyway, that I'll let cook for a while, and then come back and wipe it off. Clean it off my finger. And I'll clean up anything that was overspray there right away. Okay, here's after the treatment. It seems to have, worked pretty well for the bigger chunks. They're still a little bit dark in the middle, but I think I'm okay with that. I'm going to take, like here, did all right on that one. I don't want to dig any deeper into them. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of waterproof, whatever you call that stuff, waterproof fiberglass Bondo, and give every one of these a little dab of that, then sand it down, and then it'll be ready for first coat of paint. So I've cleaned it off the whole panel twice with Windex, and it's pretty clean now. The next thing I have to do is, what do I have to do? Take a bit of acetone and just a dab of acetone on each one of these places where I'm going to put Bondo stuff. Not Bondo, it's, I'll show you. This stuff, the stuff that I use for everything. For first stuff I use for going over welds. What's it called? Yeah. Evercoat, metal reinforced body filler for metal surfaces. So I'll just use that on there, and that's waterproof. Yeah, here we go. This taillight business, whatever it is, up there. It's covered by, there's one of these on the outside. This sort of just snaps straight out off the side of it. And this one here covers that hole right there, and it just snaps straight out. And then you take those two bolts off, and then there's a little red pin that you push in, and the wiring comes out. There it is. See that little red thing coming out of there? Can you see that? Or am I in the way? Right there. And then a little red pin right here that you push in with a screwdriver, tiny screwdriver, and then pull that out, and then this whole thing, clippy thing, comes right out of there. So now I'll bring it down. Oops. And I'll tape everything off so that it's not going to get any paint on it. Tape off this side over here. Tape off these things as best I can. These things. And over, and the emblem in the middle here. In fact, I can likely get them taped off pretty well. But I don't want to get, don't want to take them out of there. That just, and there's a little bit of rust right there too, eh? But I'm gonna leave that one alone because it's just too close to all this stuff. Look, I already got yuck on there. Oh well. Now, taping time. The orbital sander with 80 grit on there. See what it does. See what, maybe a little bit too abrasive. Not sure. We'll find out. Yeah, that works pretty good, but sandpaper gets plugged up pretty quick. I think I have to let it set for a little while longer. Oh, now here I am. So I'm gonna let this stuff harden up overnight because it's clogging the sandpaper, and then I guess I'll be painting the whole panel, right? Because the way it seems to be. Oh well, that's all right. Don't mind that. I'll let it harden overnight. I got this, there used to be a Brown's Volkswagen sticker here. A little bit of heat gun and fingernail action, got that off there. And then the residual glue, I got that off with a little bit of acetone and a paper towel. Anyhow, so that's all I can do for today. So we'll see you tomorrow. Down to 120. Feels pretty good for these upper bits. This needs more sanding, that needs more sanding, the curvy bits, that needs sanding. These bits along here are all right. That's fairly close, that's okay. That needs a bit more. But I'm going to go at it with the like 300 grit on a block. See how I come out here. This stuff, that got a little kit here. Scratches happen. You can go online and find scratches happen. And it's got the primer, it's got the paint, and it's got the clear coat. So then all you do is, and it even comes with this static control wipe, which is, you know, just isopropylene on it. And what does it say? It's, I don't know what it says here. Isopropylene alcohol deionized water. So it's all, that's for taking off like a panel prep. I was using, what do you call that stuff there? Windex. I Windexed it. Then I did a little bit of acetone on it just to clean off the grease. And then this stuff. So it should be good. Now, and primer is next. So we go on primer. Then we'll let that, I'll read the instructions on it. May be harmful to breathe. Yeah, I believe that. Anyhow, read the instructions, then we'll get at it. Yeah, there we go. Got the ventilation going. Primer. We'll just see how it works. I'll try to test it down here. Yeah, that works. Okay. So now, I'll just let that tack up a bit. That says to put a dust coat on first, and then to put on a thicker coat. A dusting, eh? Then I let it set for about 6 minutes. And now this coat here's gone on. It seems to be covering pretty nice. I'll put a third coat, I'll put another coat of primer on, let it set up for a bit, and then we'll put the first coat of color on, see how that works out. And then 2 coats on top of that, but it still sees this color, like the underneath color coming through. So I'm going to give it one more coat down here, well, the whole thing go one more coat, and then I'll put on the base color onto my paint can. It makes a big difference. It makes it much easier to spray with. Yeah, that's looking to be pretty good there now for primer. I'm just gonna, I can't see any of the underneath there, so must be okay. I'm gonna leave that be. We'll put the color on. I'll give it about 20 minutes. Come back and put the color on there. Looks pretty close to what the same as the other stuff is, but I think it'll match all right once I'm done. I hope. We'll wait and see. Then I'll see what happens. That's me. Yeah, this is the last coat of color going on. Need my rubber gloves. Yeah, here I'm getting ready to put on the clear coat. See what happens. Not bad, the paint. A couple of marks here that I didn't get sanded just right, but mostly it's okay. Here, so I think it's not bad. I gotta let that dry. It's wet now. Turned out pretty nice. I think I'll be happy with that when I get the tape off and everything and put the lights back in. Looks like the same color. Should be okay because it's the whole panel is done, and you know, the panel next to it will be, you won't notice the difference. A little bit of a spot right there where I didn't get it sanded quite through. Maybe you can you see that? Little crease there. And a little crease right there. A little bit of orange peel, but you know, very little. I don't think I think I like that finish anyhow. That looks like OEM. Okay, I'm gonna leave it for now and let it dry up. Well, here I am. What? Yeah, there it is. So, turned out pretty nice. I'm happy. And it's dry. So tomorrow, I used up all the clear, so I don't have another choice. If I wanted more clear on it, I'd have to, I've got more of that, some clear there if I wanted to, but I think it's fine the way it is. You can see, oh, I got a little run right there. I can likely buff that out, but not to worry about it. Just in the clear, that's the only run on the thing. So it's tough to get, like you have to get, when you're doing clear coat, you have to get pretty wet coat on it because otherwise it just doesn't, it gets, if you don't do a wet coat, you get too much orange peel. So the way it is came out nice. A little bit of a bubble right there. Oh, that's tape. Okay. So everything's fine. Okay. Anyhow, that's it for today, and I'll take the tape off it tomorrow and make sure that, yeah, it's just dust. Okay, it didn't paint the windows. Not a perfect job, but not a bad job. That'll look good. That'll keep it from rusting anyhow, and a little bit brighter color than the original color. Let's just see how it looks after I get all the all the tape off of it. I'll get all the tape off it and put it back together, and you might as well just follow along a bit, see what happens. Yeah, there it is. So the color is not an exact match. It's pretty close, but that's not an exact match. Anyway, that'll be the way it is because that's how it is. It looks all right though. Now, in behind the numbers here, I should have taped that better, hey? Oh well, that's my fault. You have to look pretty close to see it, and someday I'll fix that. But that stops the rusting. There won't be any more rusting at the back here, so that was the biggest part of the deal, was to stop the rusting. And so that's done. Okay, you just keep on learning how to do things wrong, right? Right or wrong, it's the way it is, so that's fine. Well, not 100% happy with the color match, but not 100% unhappy. Like when you come right here, it looks good, but when you look at the whole panel, because it's a bit brighter, a little bit brighter color. Anyhow, likely a year in the sun and it'll look the same. Anyway, there you go. Tiguan put back together, and everything's good with that. Yeah, so that's where I'll end this one. We got the front brakes done, we got the undercoating done, and we got the back door done. So it'll be good for quite a while before I have to do anything with this. So hope you enjoyed it all. Make sure you come back for more, and I'll see you next time. Yeah, so here it is, the 2nd of November. I get to walk down on a carpet of fallen leaves. Buster and I. Anyhow, I'll check in at the beach. Yeah, here we are. And very, very calm, but kind of a cloudy and grim day. Rained hard last night. Not even a duck today. Maybe they all took off. Yeah, a very calm sea today. So, see you later.